Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
UAW family, I'll see you on the picket line.
For the second time in as many weeks, the countdown clock is on zero for UAW negotiators. In less than a minute, thousands more workers expected to strike at multiple locations across the country.
And the announcement from the UAW president, Shawn Fain, put 38 more locations across 20 states on notice. A number of those are right here in Metro Detroit.
Many of them. Take a live look at a Stellantis facility in Warren where workers were told to punch out and go on strike at noon. Nick Monticelli is about 3 miles away from that plant at a Stellantis warehouse in Centerline where union members are also walking out. Good afternoon, Nick. Nick, can you hear me?
Hey everybody, yeah, we can. Yeah, I apologize for that. So we're live here in Centerline at the packaging facility. Right now, all those members are walking out and onto the picket lines. Their shift doesn't actually end until 2:30, but their picket and their strike starts right now. At this facility right here, it's Centerline Packaging, and there's about 300 employees that work at this spot. We are expecting UAW President Shawn Fain to be here any moment. In the meantime, we're going to talk to the Region 1 President, LaShawn English. We're going to walk around the corner here as LaShawn is high-fiving everybody as we go out here. Hey, LaShawn, I know you're high-fiving here. So a big moment for the union, a very large statement. What does this say to the big three, especially GM and Stellantis at this point?
What this say right now is like you need to come to the table. We're serious. You need to come to the table. You notice that we're not doing any forward locations.
Telling.
That's a telling sign of something, right?
Gotcha. So can you kind of describe the thought process behind targeting these parts and distribution centers? This could essentially be crippling for GM and Stellantis.
I don't really know the reason behind that. That would be President Shawn Fain.
Okay.
But again, it's all solidarity. It's all solidarity, no matter which plant, what location. We presently have 3 locations that's already been out there carrying the heavy loads for all of us. So everyone else has got to help with the load, I guess, because we got to show solidarity.
Okay, LaShawn, I appreciate your time here. So in talking to some of the other members who are out here, they were explaining to me that targeting these PDCs, these parts and distribution centers, it essentially, I don't know if cripples is the right word, but it significantly hampers the movements of GM and Stellantis, because now not only are you stopping the ability for new vehicles to be built, those parts to the new vehicles to be built, now what they're doing is stopping the parts to the vehicles that are already on the road and need to be repaired. So now you've got customers that will eventually get angry because they can't get their vehicles repaired anymore. So we are out here again live in Centerline watching the strike begin at this location. It used to be the Mopar headquarters right here on Lawrence. Now it is this location. And Shawn Fain, the UAW president, should be here any moment. As soon as he arrives, we'll come back to you and hear from him as he talks to the members.
All right, Nick, and it all just feels so strategic in the way it's being played out. As workers make their way onto the picket line there, and those locations in Centerline, workers in Oakland County also going on strike right now.
We're starting to see more of a view of what this disruption that Shawn Fain talked about looks like. Let's get to Sean Lay. He's in Pontiac at the General Motors parts facility. Sean, how's the energy out there?
Absolutely. We got here just after 11. 11:30 was lunch for the line workers here, so they got an early start coming out here by 11:30, even before noon, to grab their picket signs and get out of here and get out here on the picket line. Everyone out here telling me they were ready. They were not surprised at all when their name was called. This is a parts distribution center, so you've got semis coming in with parts. These folks sort them, make sure they get where they need to go, ultimately getting to dealerships. So this is going to slow that entire process down, even possibly bring it to a screeching halt. Now, the first 2 people to come out and pick up signs were some of the leaders at UAW for this particular plant. Here's what they told us the minute they came out.
About time. We've been ready to go. We've been ready to go when they first let that deadline expire.
And when Shawn Fain said your plant, what did you think?
About time. We were excited. This membership right here, they fired up. We worked hard. We came in here during COVID. We had members die. It was serious out there, and they didn't respect, our hard working effort. It's time to give something back to the working man.
Did you know it was coming?
We had an idea, but we didn't. We never know.
It was
hit or miss.
All right, back here live in Pontiac. This particular plant, workers who went out on strike in 2019, that was a long work stoppage, about 40 to 45 days. And some of the UAW members telling me that was getting close. The budget was getting tight, and that was a very long one. But now they say they're ready for the long haul and digging in. Again, parts redistribution, the parts you want if you're waiting for a part at your dealership. This is going to slow everything down. If not, actually bring things to a screeching halt when it comes to moving those parts, getting those parts to dealerships, and getting those parts in your car. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, a lot of facilities now offline. Yeah, we're going to keep an eye on that, Sean. Thank you. And we're also keeping our eyes peeled for UAW President Shawn Fain as he makes his way to the Centerline plants this afternoon. Only 2 of the big 3 directly impacted by this now expanded strike announcement, and that's because Fain claims progress is being made in the negotiations with Ford, so the UAW isn't further disrupting Ford's operations, at least at this time. In response to that, Ford released a statement saying, quote, Ford is working diligently with the UAW to reach a deal that rewards our workforce and enables Ford to invest in a vibrant and growing future. Although we are making progress in some areas, we still have significant gaps to close on the key economic issues, et cetera, et cetera.
And we are still awaiting to hear from GM and Stellantis. We will closely watch the strikes and the walkouts that are taking place this noon. And when we head over to clickondetroit.com, you can also find all of the developments as they happen. Meanwhile, 2 people are recovering after being shot early this morning on Detroit's west side.
This happened near Pearson and Elmira, just south of Plymouth Road. Police got calls around 1 a.m. on this. When they arrived, they found a 26-year-old man and an 18-year-old woman shot. A teen who they think is responsible was later taken into custody. What sparked the shooting isn't known at this time. Other news this afternoon, they were brainwashed. That's how Michigan's Attorney General describes the fake Republican electors who have been charged with tampering with the 2020 election.
Dana Nessel made that comment at a virtual event on Monday with liberal activists. Defense attorneys for some of the fake electors think Nessel crossed a line. Legal experts also said that her comments might make it harder for her to win convictions. Back in July, Nessel's office filed the first of their kind criminal charges against 16 fake electors. They have all pleaded not guilty. No comment yet from her team.
Well, we mentioned strategic when it came to striking. I don't know if they took the forecast into account, but that seems to be lining up with them as well.
Yeah, it's been a nice forecast for all of us, for that matter, and it's heading on into the weekend too, Ashley.
Yeah, what a weekend we have ahead of us, and kickstarting it on this Friday afternoon, you can see more sun than clouds over downtown as we take a look at the Rensen, and just a beautiful shot at this lunch hour. And so right now we sit at 77 degrees, 75 in Howell, 73 in Pontiac, 75 in Adrian. So we are very much on par with getting very close to 80 this afternoon. I think a lot of folks are going to crack that. So calm winds in Detroit, light easterly breeze across the rest of the area. Let's look at this weather story. So today is the last full day of summer. We are ending it on a warm note. Average high this time of year, 73. Looking ahead to your weekend forecast, looking and feeling great. Even though it won't be quite as hot as today, we're going to welcome back the 70s for both Saturday and Sunday. And we have a cool down in store next week if you're feeling like you want to bust out the flannel because it's officially fall. But here's a look at clouds and radar. Rain showers staying in Illinois right now. We're getting a little bit of the cloud cover from that. But if you want to track our next chance of rain or also the fluctuation in temperatures, download our Forewarned Weather app. It's free and you can do it on your mobile device. Make sure you have it handy, especially as we get closer to those winter months and that little 4-letter word we won't talk about yet.